My name is Van Bauman, and today is Monday, the 6th of December. That means that there are 19 days until Christmas. Here's how to impress your family and make something cool and learn a new skill all in like 5-10 minutes of watching a video and then like a couple hours of work, but it's worth it, I promise you. I'm gonna teach you today how to crochet a hat just like this one, really big brim, turn it into any kind of style hat you want with really big, thick yarn, a really easy to use tool, and if you've never even crocheted before, this video is for you. The yarn I'm using today is Wool-Ease. I have some video of a Michael's that I went into to get this yarn. It can be very overwhelming, so this is what you're gonna look for. So this is Wool-Ease, like a makeup influencer. Here we go. It is a 6 super bulky. 6, they have a yarn bulkiness kind of works on a sliding scale. 1 is not very bulky, a very thin yarn. 6 is like super bulky. With a 6, they recommend that you use a 9mm hook. We will be using a 10mm hook. It is like one of the biggest and most common ones that they have at any store. It is $2. This thing, about $7 or $8. That is all I spent on this, and you can make one hat out of this for an adult person.
Let's go, girls.
I'm a right-handed crocheter, so I am going to only be able to teach right-handed crochet in this video. I'm no expert, I'm just a college kid trying to save money on gifts. So I will hold it, generally I'll take 3 fingers here, curl the last 2 around the bottom, and then I will place my thumb on this handy dandy little indent and kind of guide like this. I'm gonna keep it very loose, so I'm gonna be able to kind of spin this in my fingers any way I like. The very first thing we need to do is create a slip knot. My favorite way to do it, and one that's really easy, is I take the yarn like this, so I'm gonna kind of lace it over these 3 fingers. I'm gonna take this end, give it a little bit of leeway, and then pinch like the end there, so it kind of makes this little shape. I'm gonna take my other finger, I'm gonna put down the hook, take my other finger, get inside, twist, put my thumb into it, and then pull. Pull till it tightens around my finger, put the slip knot back on there, tighten. That's how I make a slip knot. All right, starting your very first chain. So this is what's going to determine your height of your hat. This is meant to be your head height plus a little extra to roll up into a brim. This pattern is 24 stitches by 26 rows. So to make your first chain, you're going to pinch this knot with your thumb and your 3rd finger is how I like to hold it. And I take the yarn that's connected to it again. I'm going to place over my 3 fingers under my index and I pinch here. That way I can keep it kind of loose. I can thread more yarn through my fingers easily, and I'm going to create my first chain. So we've got our hook here, our yarn here, kind of held a little bit taut. You're just gonna go under, around, and pull through. So again, you're gonna have your hook facing towards you, under, around, you're gonna kind of face it down to pull it through. And you pull through. Should be very easy. If you find it's, hard to pull it through, you might be holding the yarn too tight. So you just kind of under, around, pull through. Under, around, pull through. And then you have to choke up your grip, kind of pinch whatever you're making here. And again. This is called yarning over, and you'll see that it's an essential part of every stitch. So right now we're just making chains. So I have 8 here. I want to get 26 on my hook. So 8, 9, 25, 26. So I have 26 on my hook, on my chain, which is connected to my hook here. This does not count as one. This is the, give myself a little bit of slack. This right here is the first chain from the hook and the second chain up from the hook. Every chain, excuse my hands, is a V shape. You're always going to put your hook under the top loop on your very first crochet. So let me show you. we are going to work double crochets. So we're going to do that thing where we yarn over, and then we're going to put our hook in the second chain from the hook. So that's going to create our height. So this is 1, 2. I'm going to put it in here, the very top loop there. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull through the first 2. Then I'm going to pull through the last 2, and that's a double crochet. You're always going to be pulling through 2 loops on your hook at a time. This is not like, this is just your extra chain to give your double crochet some height. See, look, that's like a pretty sizable height right there. So again, to walk you through it, got my hook. I like to keep my finger on this top loop here for stability. Gonna yarn over, so I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm gonna locate that next stitch. It's right here. This distended one right here is a part of your last stitch. So you're just gonna go under this next loop, pull through. I'm gonna yarn over, just like when we chained, to pull up 3 loops on your hook. Then you're gonna go 3, down to 2, down to 1 on your hook. And again, yarn over, through that space, yarn over and pull through again. We go from 3 loops, gonna pull through, again, pinching my work here to make it easier for me. Gonna pull through here. I'm gonna tighten a little bit, not too much. I'm gonna yarn over, I'm gonna pull through, and now I have another double crochet. So we have 3 double crochets so far. Look at the top of this pattern. It's gonna make little loops just like this and go all the way across. I'll meet you at the end and tell you how to move on to the next round. All right, so. And then on our very last one, we're gonna do the same thing through that tight little loop there, again and again. So I'm gonna kind of pinch and pull here, kind of close up that section. All right, on to the next row. We're gonna start by chaining 2, because again, this gives us our height. And we're going to flip our work, gonna kind of give it again a stretch, move it over to the side. I like to wrap around my work here, kind of hold it, creates a bit of a cushion, and again, pinch at the bottom. Yarn over. Now, you can see that we have a big row of these V's. We've got V's like, there's a V, there's a V, there's a V, there's a V. We're gonna start in the very first one, so there are our 2 chains, and there's our first chain that we're going to go into. So, 2 chains that we just created and our first stitch. We yarn over, and we're just gonna go under these 2 loops, in through that space, pull through, just like we did with the other ones, until we have 1 more hook there. So now that you've finished, you have 26 rows here. It's gonna look like a very long rectangle. This is about how much yarn I have left. So we're going to take our stitch that's in our right hand, and we're going to line it up with the corner here. Our tail is over on this side where we started for the very first time. We're going to sew this up, we're going to cinch this end, and we're going to flip it inside out. Congratulations, you've got a hat. We're going to find our stitch right there, the very first one, and our row here. We're going to not yarn over, we're just going to take our hook, we're going to put it through the first here, we're going to find our stitch in the back. It's going to be harder to find, so there's our first one, there's our second, our third. You can kind of line them up with the posts there. I'm gonna stick my hook right through there too. Gonna yarn over, pull through. Now I've got 2 hooks, you know what to do. Pull through, 1 loop on the hook. Sorry, 2 loops on the hook to 1. Gonna do that again. I'm gonna stick it through the first, and then into the second. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on the hook become 1. And you're gonna do this all the way down the line. I will see you at the end of this. Please rewind if you need to. And I'll see you right at the end of this row. get the tail out of the way, pull through, and then I'm on this last one here. Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna pinch this if you have not already, tighten that top bit. I'm going to chain again, and then I'm going to get as much yarn as about twice this length. So I'm gonna grab here, I'm gonna press down here, I'm going to kind of fold over there, and then I'm going to take this, I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut. I'm gonna put our scissors off to the side. We're gonna take this, and we're just gonna run our hook all the way up. We're going to take this end bit, and we're going to pinch it shut. Kind of pull on it a bit. Great, now you have a tube. So I'm just gonna take this here, I've got it up top. And what we're going to do is, we're gonna see every time there's a bump here, we're going to weave our yarn through. So I'm just gonna kind of, like, I see a bump right here, which means it's been like, it's like 2 stitches, every 2 stitches roughly. I'm going to take my yarn over, and pull it through. This is not a precise art. Kind of alternating here, coming in from the outside in when it's on the inside, and coming from the inside out when it's on the outside. There's really no correct way to do this, just as long as you tie it all the way around the circle. So you see it's gonna like cinch up just like this. Not everything's gonna be even, that's fine. All right, so I'm on the last one here. You can do this whole process with a tapestry needle. That just adds an extra step and is an extra thing to buy, so I don't think it's necessary. We're gonna tighten this up. So if you kind of loosen it, you can see it's kind of like a bag. Like if you were to sew up the bottom bit, second idea gift. Braid this or something, kind of pull it through each of this, sew up the bottom. You can just like start a slip knot, put it on your hook here, and then keep doing it, and then you've got like a drawstring bag. Look at that. So we're going to take this long end here, and we're going to tighten it, and it's going to kind of create this like puckered look right here, and we're going to like cinch it closed. So I'm going to stick my hook in from the same side that the yarn is coming out of, all the way across. Going to kind of weave it in and out. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull it all the way through. You see how that creates a very nice and secure closure there. So again, I'm going to kind of pull it from this side, and you can just kind of go around this whole thing, grabbing your yarn from different areas and yarning over and pulling through. Again, I like to kind of have it go across, like I'm gonna put my hook in here in the same end that the yarn is coming out of. I'm going to yarn over. That might cause a little bit of a tangle, so I'm going to yarn over and pull all the way through. I can even kind of bring this around, create some kind of knot right there, and then I keep going until I'll do this like 4 or 5 times, like around the entire hat. I like to make sure it's very secure. Flip it over inside out, so that way you can't really tell this is our seam stitch right there, but you know, it doesn't look too different from any other stitch. It's kind of clunky up top, but that'll fit a human head just fine. This is an adult size. Adult circumferences are about 22 inches. And you're just going to fold the brim up here. You can do it a couple times even, depending on the outfit, depending on the person, and ta-da, you've got a hat. All right, you made a hat. That's awesome. You can roll the brim however you like. I like a thicker brim, so I roll it up a couple times. Hope that you learned something from this, and that maybe it sparked an interest in crocheting or other kind of handcrafted, handmade goods. Happy holidays. Hope this helped out.